huge important requirement, I think, for customers. It's not going to go away anytime soon, even with additional use of 3D methodologies. So what we've also done is started acquiring companies and technologies to round out the portfolio. And so Inventor, in the center here, we've got ALAS for industrial design, we've got mold flow to simulate plastic injection molding. We just acquired Algor last year, which does a lot of simulation. We're building other products to do some different things. But one thing we're doing now is we're taking components of these acquired technologies and putting them in Inventor, and we're taking components from Inventor and putting them in these technologies. And so what that means is that Inventor data will really become native data to these applications. So when we first acquire a company, typically, the interoperability with Inventor is, STEP or IGES or some neutral format. But now we're moving to a place where it's totally seamless, and you won't be translating any data between these applications. It's the exact same Inventor file that you're using to work on in Inventor. You'll be able to use in simulation. You'll be able to use in Alias. So this is a great improvement for Inventor customers who leverage these tools. Now these tools will maintain their CAD neutral ability to work in any environment, but for those of you who use Inventor, you're going to have an even better experience with them. And from that base that we have in manufacturing, we also have at Autodesk a huge collection of other industry-leading products in visualization, in architecture, in construction. We've got new plant products that some of you may have started to see here. So we're really taking some of these leadership areas and bringing them together. And I'll show in here one of my ideas on how you work better with customers is how you get your content to the architect, to the construction person, to the person doing the building model, to the person doing the plant model. So we're able to take our leadership roles in these different industries and start to really bring them together in a very meaningful way. So that's my quick tutorial in digital prototyping. Hopefully not a big surprise to anybody. But now I want to get into some of the technology, some of the product-based things that you can leverage in your business. Some of them today because we've already got them, some with a small investment, and some are a little further out in the future. The first thing I want to talk about for the fast design iterations is Fusion. How many of you heard of Inventor Fusion? Anybody out there? Oh, that's good. So Inventor Fusion is up on Autodesk Labs. We're on our second technology preview now. And this is a very interesting technology that allows you to experience both what we call direct manipulation. So this is pushing and pulling the model, not worrying about dialog boxes and constraints, but really interacting very close with the geometry. And direct modeling, which is a history-free, not worrying about the history tree way of modeling that is quite interesting. It is something that helps you make these very, very quick, fast design changes. So it's up on Labs now. If you want to get there, you can go to labs.autodesk.com and you can download it and play around with it. And it also has some capability that works in conjunction with the Inventor subscription release and also the Inventor beta that started just this month. So why do we do this? It delivers a couple of advantages to customers, but one of the nice things it does for us is it gives us a sandbox to try out new ideas, to try out new paradigms without disrupting your everyday production use of the product. So what you'll see in the technology preview is really cool ease-of-use paradigms. There's all kinds of interesting things we've done with the UI that make it really easy to figure out how to make the changes, not to need a lot of documentation, and it's very, very intuitive. You'll also see the ability to make really rapid design changes on imported geometry. So if you've got files coming in from anywhere, from ProE, from CATIA, through STEP or IGES, you can leverage this environment to really quickly push-pull the model, not have to worry about any of the features, and just make very quick edits. So that helps you modify non-native data. And we've also got this very unique workflow between Inventor and Fusion that allows you, to do both, leverage both parametric and direct modeling on the same geometry. So you can start in Inventor, you've got your fully parameterized model. You can bring it into Fusion, make changes, and when you bring it back to Inventor, we're going to recover the parametrics. We're going to give you an environment where you can accept and decline which changes you want to see back in Inventor. And there's a little example here that's in my video. So this bracket started out in Inventor, bring it into Fusion, we make some pretty significant changes that would have been very disruptive if you were trying to make some of them in Inventor because of the way the parametrics and the history are all set up. When we do it in Fusion, we come back and we can adapt those changes and still have those features. And the next person that edits that bracket, they don't even know necessarily that it was edited in a Fusion environment. It's still, real native Inventor geometry. So here's a video. You'll see right away some very interesting push-pull, kind of direct manipulation sort of things. We've got fun menus. It's called a marking menu that's right on the cursor, so you don't have to go around to the other dialogues. You can make very, very quick changes there. In the second technology preview, we started introducing some ability to dimension and add some basic parametrics here, so you can start to see some behaviors that will look familiar. So we can move those two things together. Here we'll add some dimensions. You can, fix these, or you can use them to modify the model. And it's all really focused on keeping you productive and thinking about your geometry and not thinking about, menus and dialog boxes. So this is the most interesting and unique part. This is the relationship with Inventor. So here's my bracket, bring it into Fusion, making some pretty significant edits here. Changing some fillets into chamfers, bring it back, and I get this overlay that shows me the differences, and I can accept the changes or decline the changes. So when I'm done, I have a fully parameterized Inventor model. And you'll notice, even the chamfer shows up as a chamfer. So we're doing some pretty significant feature recognition here to kind of glue this all back together so that it functions, as it should in the Inventor environment. So as I mentioned, this is on labs now. We're definitely looking to gather lots of customer feedback on what's working, what's not working, is it valuable, what direction should we take it in. And one thing we have done, though, is because the feedback on the Fusion UI was so great, we're already taking a look at how we can incorporate some of this into Inventor. So we really, really want to deliver for you a breakthrough design experience with Inventor. So you've got, unprecedented productivity, and then the product really is, delightful to use, even more so than it already is today. Another area that I'll talk about is data management. One place I see customers investing pretty heavily, especially in the downturn, is in data management. There's really no better time than right now to get the vault working. You've all got the vault if you've got Inventor or AutoCAD Mechanical or AutoCAD Electrical. Now's a great time to clean up the environment and make it so that you don't lose data, you don't overwrite files, and that you always have the most current version. But we're also experimenting with the vault, trying to take it to the next level and make it more visual. Data management, if you're an AE, is one of the most boring things in the world to look at because it's just not graphical, it's not that interesting. But we're exploring capabilities that will allow you to look at different attributes of the model visually. So all those pie charts will show you released and unreleased components. You can look at purchase parts versus parts that you're manufacturing. So a much different, more interactive experience we're exploring with our data management solution. So let's talk about better design decisions with simulation. We at Autodesk are very committed to finding ways to move simulation up in the design process. As I mentioned, we have acquired 4 simulation companies in the last 2 years, and we're working really hard at leveraging all those assets to bring a very easy-to-use, upfront simulation experience to our customers. So, for example, here's a bucket loader, and we're going to do some simulation here. This is all in Inventor Professional, so if any of you have Inventor Professional 2010, you've got FEA stress analysis on parts and assemblies, as well as dynamic simulation. So this was, the assemblies were new to 2010. So we're going to run some analysis here, and this is all embedded, right in the CAD environment, leveraging the browser, leveraging familiar capabilities that the Inventor user knows and understands. So we can get these results, and we can also optimize. This is one of the unique things that we put in the product here. We can give it some different parameters that we want to move between, and the product will go and optimize for the best possible design. And this uses all the standard Inventor parameters. So here we are, we're going to set up a few goals around, I think, mass or weight, frequency, different things like that. It'll vary some of the different model parameters based on the range you tell it, and quickly run, a dozen or so simulations and give you results across that range. So this is pretty interesting capability that in a half an hour or an hour